today what our lesson is about is the perimeter of polygons. So we're starting a new unit. And what we're looking at is shapes, and we're interested in their perimeter. Now, one thing that sometimes happens is we get a little confused about the difference between area and perimeter. So perimeter is always the distance around a shape. So it's the distance around. So if you look at my diagram here, you can see that inside we have area, that's the green part, and my fence that goes around is the actual perimeter. So I'm only interested in what it would take for me to fence off an area, okay, or how much string it would take. So let's look at a few examples. As I said, you've seen this before, so we're not going to spend tons of time on today's lesson. So examples. So the first, it asks us to find the perimeter. And you can see that the shape that we have is a triangle. So it has 3 sides. So that means I'm going to be adding 3 numbers. So my perimeter is going to equal, in this case, 15 plus 8 plus the 12. And now what we could do is we could pull out a calculator if we needed to, or we could do it in our head, and I'm going to do mine in my head. So that together is 20, and I'm going to add 15 to it, so that's going to be 35. Now, often what we do is we put the kind of units. So in this case, everything's measured in centimeters, so I'm going to put 35 centimeters. Right, and that would be important if I was measuring the baseboard around the room and I wanted to buy a certain amount, then I want to know how I measured it. Now the next one is a shape that you've seen before. Okay, it's a rectangular shape. Now you probably learned that there were special formulas for perimeter, and yes, there are, but the important thing for you to understand is it's the distance around. Okay, so we're always interested in that. So if I look at this particular example, if I look at my distance around, I do know that I have 15 here, I have 10, I have another 15, but for some reason I do not know this measurement over here. But you really do, because you do know it's a rectangle. So that means that this side does equal this side, so that means that that is 10. Now, I will leave it totally up to you whether you want to use a formula for perimeter, but what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to look at my picture and add everything up. So I can see that I have 2 15 yards, right? So I have one here and one here, and I also have 2 10 yards sides. Okay, and those are the ones that we have the little slashes. So now I have 30 plus 20, so I have a total of 15, and in this case, yards. Okay, or you could have gone, as I said, 15 plus 10 plus another 15 plus 10, and if we add those all together, we also get 50. So either way you can do it. You can either do it 2 times the 15 and 2 times the 10, or you could actually do it this way as well. Okay, it's time for you to do some work.